So the conversation about Russell Wilson has been all over the map ever since he came into the league. Our first television podcast version of the audio podcast that this show is born out of. Did I say that right, Chris? A last-minute guest ad for the season opening television podcast version on NFL Network.
Yeah, we did a 2012 season kickoff.
The young kid out of Wisconsin that we kept on asking for because it looked like he was going to start for the Seattle Seahawks, but we kept being told he was in the film room the whole time, except for this 10-minute window that we were able to hit, was Russell Wilson.
Correct.
And then, Russ became the darling of Seattle, and why not? He was the personification of the Pete Carroll always compete mantra, that it doesn't matter where you've been drafted or if you were drafted at all. If you're on the team and you get to compete, which everyone does, and you compete well enough, you can start, you can star. You can be the guy. And then we all know what happened as things went forward. And then came the word that they were like Russ rules there, like certain rules for Russ that didn't apply to other people, that they didn't give it to Marshawn Lynch on the goal line, not because they thought it was wise to throw it. They didn't want Marshawn to be the MVP of the game. Let's get Russ the MVP of the game by allowing him to throw it. I mean, that's the sort of conversation that, based on all the chatter beneath the surface in Seattle, right? That there was always the erring on the side of making sure Russ is okay.
Happy,
and he's our guy to the detriment of everyone else.
Yep.
Or, even though you're the stars as well of this team. And then the beneath the surface conversation about Russ flipped, where suddenly before the 2018 draft, we heard that in Dallas. We were our ear to the ground. We heard the Seahawks might be out on Russ, that they've had enough of Russ, that there's parts of Russ that we don't see that creates too much of an issue. And we're like, what are those issues? The guy goes to children's hospitals when he's not playing. And good luck winning games without him, because you were winning games because you won't even let Russ cook. Remember, we even mentioned that to Pete Carroll last year, and he bristled. Like, what do you mean we don't let him cook? And then suddenly it flipped. And then Russell Wilson just last week confirmed they tried. Yes, the Seahawks did, in fact, try to trade him prior to the 2018 draft to Cleveland for the first overall pick, and we're going to take Josh Allen with him. Cleveland held on to that pick, as we all know, and did not choose Josh Allen. So I think the way that everything played out last night shows you there's a lot of beneath the surface stuff about Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, because KJ Wright was the retiree who was raising the banner for the 12s last night. They gave him a tribute video. No tribute video for Russell Wilson. Don't you think it's just like, hey, thanks for the memories? And
it's just so petty. And
I don't know. I just think there's some water under that bridge, man. And I think the fans pick up on it. I know we had a caller earlier saying the fans weren't booing Russ. They were booing the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. I think our caller from Salt Lake City said, and they're booing the Broncos, which is what they do.
All due respect.
I didn't get that sense.
I didn't get that.
This was Russ after the game about the booze.
I think that, more than anything else, though, for me personally, I didn't waver. They may cheer for you. They may boo you. They'll love you one day and they'll hate you the next. And that's sports. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep competing. I'm going to keep battling. I know who I am. First of all, I think for me, I'm just grateful God's given me the chance to play this game, to sit here in front of you guys and say, God, it's all for His glory and His glory alone. It's not for anybody else's. I play for an audience of one, and that's just for Him. And so I'm just grateful that I get to be with these guys, in this locker room too as well. I've been around some amazing teammates in the past, and I got some amazing teammates currently. And I'm going to remember every single moment of that. So tonight was special. It was on the other side, than I used to, but it was still a special environment. So it's a place that I've always loved.
A place he's always loved. I don't know if the feeling's currently mutual. I'm just wondering if water can get under the bridge at some point and it's all over. That he does deserve to be feted in that stadium.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like
it's probably still soon.
It's still too soon. And I also heard people are saying, well, he left. He wanted out. He left.
Right.
and left them with Drew Lock and Geno Smith, not in a spot, where at least Colts fans got Andrew Luck after they lost Peyton Manning. And things might have been different for Tom Brady's return last year if Mac Jones hadn't already shown and flashed, right? I don't know. Something's beneath the surface. And I just think that Russ clearly thought he was going to win last night when he brought an outfit worthy of the Met Gala. Like that looks like somebody, because Dion taught me a long time ago that when people come dressed like this to a game, that's their "we're going to win today" suit. That you don't dress like that thinking you're going to lose.
Yeah. Well, he didn't fumble it twice on the goal line.
That's true. I mean, he played well enough to win.